Okay, let's get back to work. Week 4. Today we're going to work on 3/4 swings. Let's talk about the difference between a half swing and a 3/4 swing. Our half swing that we've used up to this point has been that smaller motion. You remember hands and club only going back to about waist high, going back, going through. We don't have a lot of lift to the golf club, so it's almost like our arms are working with our body as we go back and through. They're kind of riding with our body. Now as we move to this 3/4 swing, we're going to get a little more turn on the way back, and we're going to get more arm lift. So now you're going to have to feel like your arms kind of almost separate themselves from your upper body a little bit. So you're going to have some independence to your arms to allow them to start to kind of lift up this line. If you don't, this is what it should look like. But if you don't and you let those arms just kind of run across it, you're going to start to see this club kind of work low and inside too much and too quickly. So this is where we start to understand the technique, that the club kind of gradually works off the ball, a little bit inside, kind of up and in, and then it starts to work up the line. And it works up the line because my hands and my arms are actually starting to lift the handle and get it to work a little more upwards. This is going to be kind of your checkpoint for the 3/4 swing. When you get to this position where your hands are kind of even with your sternum area, the shaft's pretty vertical in the air at that point. We don't want the shaft to be this way though. You always want to feel like at this point that the shaft is not dead vertical, that has a little bit of tilt to it. It's kind of pitched behind me a little bit at this point in time. That's going to be really important because as we work to the full swing, we're going to feel that as well. So we kind of get a little preview for that feel here in this 3/4 motion. I want you to really start to take your time to rehearse keeping your eyes on the ground, my eyes staying down, and really starting to feel how I can get to this spot. Feel the pressure should feel like it builds in this trail leg. You should really feel like you have pressure to the inside of the foot, running kind of up the inside of the leg, and that pressure starts to build as this club kind of gets further down this line and it goes back. Start to feel that pressure build. Start to feel you have a little bit of turn. This is where we're going to start to cue what I call back to your target. So when you get to this point, I want you to feel like your back is facing the target. So you have a little bit of shoulder turn when you get here. We're going to need that on the way down because that's going to allow us almost time and space to reorganize the club the way we need to. So our first 2 keys are really feeling we're starting to get a little more arm lift on the way back. I'm starting to get my hands kind of up into this point where they're kind of even with my sternum. I'm starting to feel this pressure build in this trail foot as I do that. And I'm feeling my shoulders are turning a little bit. I'm getting my back to the target, and I'm really just gonna sit here and get comfortable. Smoothly be able to stop at this position and get it here. Then we're gonna apply that same idea and start to strike the ground in the right spot. So same thing we did with the half swing, use that golf ball as a reference point, take it back to this spot, pause for a second, and strike the ground in front. So we're starting to feel like the club gets up the line, and then from there, the same thing we cued with the half swing. We're feeling like our lower body's going first, or he's gonna get the body to go, and we're feeling what angle we've got to pull this handle to allow that club head to hit the grass on the left side of the golf ball for me as a right-handed golfer, on the front side of the golf ball. So I'm just timing that up, getting that awareness of where the club feel like it in space, what angle I need to pull down to hit the grass in front. Now, I think this is where we got to talk about a little more technical things, a couple more technical thoughts to help your body stay in the right position, to help you organize the angle that you're pulling that handle down. When you get set up and you get to the top, again, that pressure's built in the right foot, my back's to the target. I want you to feel like you keep your back facing the target, and that pressure that you built in that trail foot right here, you're allowing that pressure to feel like you're pushing it, using that pressure to push your body and your mass back to your lead side. So it's almost like that pressure going through my trail foot is building so much and at an angle pushing out that allows my body to feel like it's actually going to drift back to my lead side before my shoulders ever turn. See, I haven't opened my shoulders have stayed closed, but I've actually got my weight to start shifting back. That's a really important move. Okay, let's hit some shots. Go through my rehearsal. Again, get to my spot, back to the target, 3/4 swing. Finish position, something we haven't talked about yet. On these shots, I want you to feel what I call Tommy Fleetwood finish. And what I mean by that is, if you know who Tommy Fleetwood is, PGA Tour player, really good ball striker. You're gonna see him hits a lot of these 3/4 swings. His trail arm, my right arm, is across his chest, and the shaft is kind of vertical in the air. So when you go through, hit the shot, I want you to feel that. Kind of right arm, trail arm across the chest, shaft vertical. This would be your 3/4 finish. The club keeps wrapping around you. This will be my full finish. So right now, we're just gonna stop at this 3/4 finish. It's more of your abbreviated swing. Again, this is kind of a medium swing. Half swing is a small swing, this is medium, and eventually we go to the full swing. Rehearsal swing first. Get that club up the line, feel that pressure build through that trail foot, get my back to the target, keep my back to the target, feel that pressure shift, feel my body move back to the lead side, striking the ground in front. So I'm just gonna keep rehearsing these little swings over and over again. And so I get real comfortable that I can strike the ball solid and hit it fairly straight. But I can't stress enough how important it is to take your rehearsals for every shot, really start building a feel and awareness how to control this club head, how to hit the ground where you want and how you want with every different pattern, whether we're talking about a half swing, 3/4, or full, always having that ability when the swing changes, length, speed, whatever it might be, you're still controlling your low point, where you hit the ground relative to the golf ball. That always needs to be consistent. So whenever you do these shots and whenever you change shots, make sure your process before you hit that shot, your pre-shot routine, involves something that helps you hit the ground with the swing that you want, how you want, and then execute the shot. Doesn't mean you're gonna hit it great every time, but at least gives you a preview of what it needs to feel like to hit it the way you want to. Practicing these 3/4 shots at different speeds as well. Same swing, same length, just kind of change the gear. Feel like at first I'm gonna go slow motion, so I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna get it to the top, almost a little pause. And it's almost, I'm just letting the club kind of melt on the way down, just let it kind of drop on the back of the ball. Obviously I'm still doing something, but just a lot less violent. And I'm just gonna chip a few. So that one felt like it just fell down. This one, maybe I had 10% more speed, but really learning how to hit these shots well at a fairly slow pace. And again, having that ability to make the same swing at different speeds increases awareness. The more awareness we have of this club head, what it's doing in space, where it is in space, we understand how and when and how fast to organize our body. These are all related. Everything affects everything. So the more you can develop awareness for the club head, the more your body has a chance to develop awareness how to move and when to move. So slow this down, really dial in this 3/4 swing, really understand how to get the club into this 3/4 position comfortably, understand how to get your body in transition to start moving back to the lead side, start shifting your weight without your shoulders opening up at the same time. And that's gonna put your body in a really good position for now you to control that angle that you're pulling this handle down in order to hit that grass in front of the golf ball and control your impact alignments. But let's slow this down, let's refine this motion, let's stay with this as long as we need to get it in order. Because if this is in order, again, this is the foundation of your full swing. Everything we put upon this, everything we build upon this, length-wise, speed-wise, is going to be much easier to control if this is in order. If this is not in order, not only is your full swing going to struggle, but also you're going to struggle with distance control wedges. It's going to be very difficult to control your distances from, I'd say, 120 to 50 yards, because this is really kind of the motion we're using for most of those shots. So let's take your time, dial us in, and we'll get back to work on full swings next week.